Welcome back. We created a starter project in the earlier video. Let me load it. Here it is. Most of the examples in this course will start with a similar blank Spring Boot application. I'll create an initial project template using the Spring Initializer, as explained in the earlier video. Then we will start putting up Spring Cloud and Kafka Streams code in the application. Let's do this one so you understand the typical process. I'm going to create a simple stream listener. The listener is a Kafka message consumer who will listen to a Kafka topic, read all incoming messages, and log it. That's all. It is the first example, and the main objective of this example is to help you understand the high-level structure of a Spring Cloud Kafka Streams application. You might not understand everything at this stage, but nothing to worry about. I'll elaborate on everything in the coming videos. In this video, let's focus on the high-level structure. Let me start. Kafka and Spring are highly configurable systems. So, every application will have a configuration file. You can find it in the resources folder. Here it is. You can define your application configuration in the application properties file. However, you can also define them in a YAML file. Most of the projects prefer the YAML file over the properties file configuration. So, let me rename the application properties to application YAML. Great. I'll paste some configurations into this file. Here it is. Your application configurations are defined in a hierarchy. The first hierarchy starts with the Spring Cloud Stream configurations. Every Spring Cloud Stream configuration comes under this level. So, everything you see here is a Spring Cloud Stream configuration. We are defining two configurations. You can see a lot of things here, but these are just two configurations. The first one is known as the input-output channel binding. The second one is known as the binder. The input-output channel binding defines the list of sources and destinations. The binder will define your source and destination technology. Spring Cloud offers you a bunch of binder technologies. You can use Apache Kafka, RabbitMQ, Amazon Kinesis, Google PubSub, Azure Event Hubs, and many more. This course is about Apache Kafka, and Spring Cloud offers you two types of Kafka bindings: Apache Kafka Binder and Kafka Streams Binder. The Apache Kafka Binder implements the Kafka client APIs. The Kafka Streams Binder is explicitly designed for Kafka Streams API. In this course, we will be focusing on Kafka Streams Binder. Great. Now let's look at the configurations. I am defining only one channel. The name of the channel is Input Channel 1 and the destination is the users. In this configuration, I am assuming that I'll connect to users Kafka topic using the Input Channel 1. That's all on the bindings. Now come to the binder technology. I want to implement the Kafka Streams Binder, and hence I am defining the same here. The rest of the configurations are specific to the Kafka Streams. I am setting Kafka broker hostname and port, so the application can connect to the Kafka cluster. I am also setting the message key and value types. I am expecting a string key and value, so I am setting a string srd for both. I'll talk about the srd in the coming video, but you can think of it as the type of message key and value for now. Great, that's all about the configurations. Let me move on to the next step. You can see this Hello Streams application class, and you already know about it. This class is the main entry point for our Spring Boot application. But the current application does nothing. We want to create a Kafka listener service that binds to a Kafka input topic and listens to all incoming messages, right? Creating a Kafka Streams listener requires two things. The first one is an interface to define the input-output bindings. Let me name it Kafka Listener Binding, and I keep it in the bindings package. The second one is a service class to listen to the input topic. Let me name it Kafka Listener Service and I keep it in the service package. Now let's finish coding for the Kafka Listener binding interface. The primary purpose of this interface is to define input and output bindings. We want to listen to an input topic. So let me define a method signature for the input stream reader. This method will read from a Kafka topic and return a K-stream. The K-stream is a Kafka message stream made up of a string key and a string value. We also need to annotate this method using the @input annotation and pass in the input channel name. That's all. We are done. However, it says input annotation is deprecated in favor of functional programming model. It is a new change coming in Spring Cloud 3 and above. We will learn about the functional programming model and create some examples to understand the new approach. But this new version is still under preview release. It is too early for real-life projects to adopt the functional model of Spring Cloud. So, we will also cover the current approach that works using Spring Cloud annotation. The point is straight. In this course, we will learn the current approach, which is in day-to-day practice. And we will also learn the new upcoming approach, so we are ready for future projects. However, this deprecation warning might be irritating. So let me lower the Spring Cloud version. Open your build file. Scroll down and you will see the Spring Cloud version. This version is in preview. We want to lower down this version to the current GA version. Let me go to the spring.io and check the most recent Spring Cloud GA version. Here it is. So 20.0.0 M5 is the preview version. Hoxton SR9 is the current GA version. So let me use the current GA version. Refresh the project. Come back to the code file and you will see that the deprecation warning disappears. That's all. We are done defining the binding interface. Now let's move on to the Kafka Listener Service. This class will be a service. So let me annotate it as a service. We also want to log the input messages. So let me add the log4j2 annotation. Now, the most important one. We want to bind this class with the Spring Cloud Stream infrastructure. So I'll need to use the @enable binding annotation and pass in my binder interface name. That's all. This class will trigger the Cloud Stream framework, connect to the Kafka input channel using the Kafka Streams API, and start consuming the input messages as a K-stream. The next step is to pass each message in the K-stream. You can do it by creating a method. Let me define it. This method is a @stream_listener for the given input channel. The Spring Cloud framework will call this method and pass in the K-stream. Now I can do whatever I want to do with this K-stream. I want to log each message. So let me use the forEach method on the input stream. The forEach method takes a key value lambda, and all I want to do is to log the key and the value. That's all. We are done. Let me quickly summarize it. we started with defining some application configurations. I configured an input channel with the destination as users Kafka topic. Why? Because I wanted to connect to the users Kafka topic and read all the messages. So I configured an input channel for users Kafka topic. Then I also told Spring Cloud Stream that I want to use Kafka Streams binder. So the Spring Cloud Stream should connect to Kafka broker using the given host name and port. I also configured the message key and the message value types. Both are string, so I used string serde for both. Great, that's all for the configurations. This input channel must be picked up by the Spring Cloud framework and bind to the user's Kafka topic. So we defined a binding interface and linked the input channel using the @input annotation. We are all set. However, we defined the configurations and linked it with an interface. We are still not triggering the Spring Cloud framework, and that's why I defined a listener service. The @enable binding will trigger the Spring Cloud framework. Now, the Spring Cloud framework will implement the binding interface and create a Kafka stream. You can listen to the stream using a listener method. So, my listener method will receive the input stream and I'm sending it to the log. That's all. Now, it's time to run this application and see a few things in action. Let's do it. For running this application, you will need a Kafka cluster, right? I already installed Confluent Kafka cluster in my Ubuntu WSL. Let me start the Ubuntu terminal. Here it is. Now I can start the Confluent Kafka services. Let's wait while everything starts. We do not need all of these services for this example. Only Zookeeper and Kafka server are more than enough. However, let's wait for all these services. Good. So my Kafka cluster is now up and running. However, I'm running my Kafka cluster in an Ubuntu WSL. My WSL runs in a VM, which has its IP address. Let me check the IP address of the VM. Here it is. So I should have configured my Kafka broker to listen to this IP address. However, this IP address will change when I restart my Windows machine. And that's a big problem. I cannot configure my Kafka cluster to listen to a fixed IP address. So I configured it to listen to the localhost, and I'll set up a proxy between localhost and this IP address. Here is the command for setting up a proxy. Every time you restart your Windows machine, you should run this command with your VM's IP address. Let me run it. Start Windows Command Terminal as an administrator and run it. That's all, we are done. Now I can connect to my Kafka cluster using the localhost 9092. Why? Because localhost 9092 will redirect to my VM's IP. Great. We created an application to listen to the user's topic, right? So let me create a Kafka topic. Here is the command. Now let me start a console producer and send one message. Here is the command. I've included some sample messages here. Let me send one. Now we are ready to start the application. Let me run it. It's running. Do you see this log entry? The key is null and the value is this JSON string. Let me go to the producer and send one more message. It came here. So my application is listening to the Kafka topic and logging all the incoming messages. That's what we wanted to do, right? Great. That's all for this video. See you again. Keep learning and keep growing.